MLB The Show dropped a blog about how Diamond Dynasty will work in MLB The Show 24, and we have a lot of stuff to go through. This is a really long blog. I'm going to try to condense it as low as I can. But without further ado, let's get into everything they're talking about here. So there are about 7 main points we're going to talk about throughout this blog, and they're interesting, man. There's a lot of really good stuff here. So first off, we're going to talk about Team Affinity. It's going to expand to 3 chapters each season. So as you guys know, Team Affinity, when a new set or season dropped, we worked our way up through Team Affinity in there. This way, now there's going to be 3 different drops throughout one season. Now, seasons are going to be longer as well. Keep that in mind. So I think they're about to be like 12 weeks or so. So we're going to have 3 different drops of Team Affinity, which I think will be really cool. There will be free cornerstone cards and starter packs, which again, we'll talk about here in just a little bit. One big thing I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about, there'll be fewer high-tier 99s overall to start each season. So that was a really bad thing last year. Obviously, there's a ton of 99s in the game, and a lot of people didn't like that. So they went ahead and changed that up. So that means that we actually have a power creep coming in MLB Show 24, which was like every other game before 23, which I am very, very, very excited about. We have some free weekly packs that we're going to get through the show shop throughout the year. I think they mentioned some more stuff about that down below. There'll be more wild card slots as well. I think we're getting up to 4. You unlock them through the season reward path, which I think is super, super interesting. Like I just said, the seasons will be 12 weeks long, which I think is actually how it should have been in the beginning. The sets of season stuff last year just was kind of weird. I don't know. They were just the pacing of it, everything. I think we've all been through it. We all know what it's going to be like. And then also their future premiere on March 14th. We'll be talking about a lot of the Diamond Dynasty stuff as well. So there'll be a lot of stuff in that. So make sure you guys are there for that because it'll be very, very important. So MLB The Show is introducing seasonal Diamond Dynasty. So there were seasons and sets in MLB The Show 23. Now it's going to seasons. So technically seasons is kind of like sets, but it's a little bit different. One thing I should mention as well, you will lose cards each season. So it's like 23 when a new season started, you lost those type of cards. But it's going to be a little bit different in this year's Diamond Dynasty. So seasonal Diamond Dynasty takes a refined approach to building your Diamond Dynasty team, featuring new cards released exclusively each season. It brings a familiar feeling of ascending from lower tier to higher tier cards, which is something that I think we've all wanted. We've missed that from 23. But at this time, at a more accelerated pace contained within each 12-week season. So each season, it looks like, or at least season 1 is going to start with 91 overall cards at launch. I think that they're probably going to do the same thing for all the other seasons as well, but they're just showing this in season 1. That way you kind of work your way up. You don't have all the 99s let go right at launch, and we didn't really build our cards or our teams. It was kind of just a big pile of poo. Honestly, in 23 there's just a bunch of stuff going on, and I know a lot of people didn't like that, including me. So there's gonna be a lot of opportunities to build your team throughout the season, get some good strategies, upgrade your lineup and everything, and this is what we're gonna get into for our in-season cards. So this is kind of just like sets, where we had set 1 up here, but instead it'll be S1 for season 1. Now obviously, as this goes on, season 2, you're gonna lose all of your season 1 cards, but you will have wild card just like in 23. So in 24, you're going to be able to get 4 wild cards. And again, we'll talk about it here in just a little bit. So it's a good fine line, I think, between being able to use some of your cards from set 1 still, but also giving you guys a new refresh for season 2. So here's like a little snippet of what it's going to look like. And somebody very smartly, there's little tidbits of things in here you guys can catch on to. But somebody very smartly looked in here and he saw clutch is actually part of the attribute wheel. With clutch being such a huge factor in MLB The Show 23, obviously it will be in 24 as well, that it was really annoying you couldn't see your actual clutch of your card that you're using. Now you can actually see here, so it's gonna be a lot easier to look at that. Core cards will be returning to Diamond Dynasty. I think we all liked core cards. I think they're awesome to have, which means most of them are gonna be live series cards. There obviously will be some other ones as well, as long as they do it like they did in 23. So this is kind of just showing you guys what it'll look like when you have core cards in there too. I really hope that when they do this, that core cards will end up being more usable, because I feel like core cards or live series cards, whatever you want to call them, they weren't very usable in 23. They really haven't been usable in a very long time. So hopefully this gives them some incentive that hopefully we can use these cards off the rip in season 1. There will also be a extra special core collection card of legends and flashbacks as well, which you can see right here. You get a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I really like they have like a lower tiered collection for that to start off the game. I think that's gonna be really cool. So just another card you guys can add to your inventory. Honestly, you can use them as well. 91 overall will be usable in the beginning of every season. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about wild card slots. We talked about it a little bit up here, but they will be returning. Obviously, we kind of knew that was already happening. But now we'll get multiple wildcard slots up to 4 that you get from the Season XP reward path beginning in Season 2. Obviously, Season 1, you don't have to have wildcard. So we'll start in Season 2. and they're integrating it within the season XP reward path, which I think is actually cool. So the more you play, the more wild cards you get to earn, which means you get to use more cards from season 1, season 2, whenever that gets to the next season. I think it's actually a really good add. I think adding in more wild cards will be helpful for people. Maybe they won't be so far behind, but I am going to be a little bit cautious with it because we don't want it to replicate 499s for everybody every single season. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. So starting in each season, you'll get a cornerstone card, seasonal starter packs, and a head start reward. Kind of just like what we had last year. The cornerstone cards are new, but the head start rewards are something we had in 23. So it'll be really cool to see this, and they will be free for you guys. So it's awesome to get those free rewards off the rip. So cornerstone cards are captain cards. So captain cards are coming back into MLB The Show 24. They have special abilities that help you build your team or your dream team of baseball superstars. At the beginning of each season, a cornerstone choice pack will be delivered into your inventory. Automatically, you can choose 1 of 4 seasonal player cards as your cornerstone captain. These 4 cornerstone captains have unique team building boosts for your dream team archetype, so choose wisely. That'll be interesting. It'll be really cool to see what attributes these cards will boost. Obviously, we don't have any idea what cards are actually going to boost, but it'll be really cool to see how these work out. These actually are your season 1 cornerstone cards as well. We've got Nolan Arenado, Byron Buxton, Kodai Senga, and Greg Maddux. Let me know down below who you guys are going to actually choose here. I honestly have no idea. I'm kind of leaning towards Kodai because Kodai, as long as it's the same as it was in 23, he has that little hitch with his release, and he'll be really, really hard to hit. We also get our seasonal starter packs. So in addition to the cornerstone choice packs, Diamond Dynasty players will also find a 5-pack seasonal starter bundle that you get for your inventory. So just free packs for you guys to be able to be using. And then head start rewards, which kind of is the same thing as what it was last year. The more stuff you do within each season, you'll get a head start into next season. So you want to try to get done as much as you can in season 1 in order to go and get a head start in season 2. Next, we have a content schedule update. Seasons will typically run between 12 weeks, like I said a little bit earlier, so about 3 months approximately. At launch, anticipate some of the highest rated Season 1 cards to start at 91 overall. Again, the power creep is coming back to MLB The Show. You're not going to get bombarded, if you guys see right here, you're not going to get bombarded with a bunch of 99s like we did with the WBC content last year. So that's a huge W. I know a lot of people are not very happy with all 99s, and I think that ultimately really hindered content, honestly, because you didn't feel like you needed to grind anything. There are cards that came out there in 97s that you're never going to use because you already had 99s on your team. So it's really cool they're adding this back in here. And the new content drops will gradually be pushing the bar higher until we get to 99s. Now, they haven't said when we'll get 99s in each season. I assume maybe with a month left or maybe with 3 weeks left, we'll start getting more 99s. Remember, it'll go from a 91 scale to a 99 then in season 1, and then going into season 2. You lose all your season 1 cards unless you wildcard them, and we start at 91 again in season 2. So you're back to the power creep just like we were doing before, which I think is originally what they wanted to do for sets and seasons, but obviously that didn't work out in 23. One important note right here too is that the live series collection reward will still be a 99 core reward. I think that's totally fine. We get, I think usually it's 3 core rewards from that. There'll be 99s overall. One thing that will be really interesting to see is what the collection tiers will be. Obviously, like the NL East has a collection, each team has a collection as well. So we got to see what the scale of those rewards will be, because if you get 3 99s out the rip with your, well, not, it won't be out the rip, but you have to complete the core collection. And then you have the different collection awards that might be 95s, maybe they're a little bit lower than that. And then maybe the 93s from the live series collection of each team. It'll be really interesting to see how they gradually scale that, or how that's going to end up, because we don't want to run into what we had in 23. Now, one thing that's really interesting about the collection reward as well is this reward will take a considerable amount of time and skill. So we're prepared to level up not only your squad, but also your prowess on the sticks if you want to earn it. Which kind of means, I guess, that maybe you can't buy them either. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they do this live series collection. But this to me sounds like you might have to actually do some stuff to get to the 9 overall collections, not just put money in the game in order to buy them. So what to take a look out for that. As you guys can see right here, we have our Season 1 XP Reward Path. Got a nice little revamp over here. 2 things that people need to catch as well. We do have headliners coming back to MLB The Show 24. We had Diamond Duos last year, which I think just ended up not being very great, unfortunately. Headliners weren't perfect, I don't think, in 22 either, so it'll be interesting to see how they end up doing headliners. Now, if you guys also zoom in like very, very close here, I know it's really quick, but if you guys see the season reward at the end, obviously we have the reroll, remember? There is a 90+ live series diamond in this. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up turning out when we actually get to that point. because that could be really, really nice, especially if live series actually matter more. Sellable rewards are back in Diamond Dynasty. Obviously, last year they went away from that, and a lot of people are not happy about that, but it looks like they are coming back to 24. So in 24, there'll be more ways to attain the high-tiered reward cards for multiplayer modes like ranked, battle royale, and events. Ranked programs will feature sellable rewards, including a new exclusive program player reward for you to earn in each ranked solo or co-op gameplay. Now, one thing I will mention, they did not say anything about co-op in this blog besides this. So we don't know if PXP will count co-op. We don't know much about co-op and how they're going to do it, but hopefully there are some changes like that in 24. This is probably the biggest change for 24, honestly, especially for me. You guys know me. I go 12-0 a lot. We've done it 86 times in 23, but they're actually going to be changing it to 10-0 instead of 12-0 like it hasn't been in years past. Now, one thing to mention right here, it does say Battle Royale Flawless will start at 10-0. So does that mean that maybe in the future it goes back to 12-0? Is this something they're just testing to see what will happen with people and if people can actually go 10-0? I assume that a lot of people weren't able to go 12-0 last year. Probably one of the hardest things to do, that in 1,000 rated and ranked seasons. So them changing it is better for the majority of people. I personally don't like it. I like 12-0, but again, I can put that to the side and make sure that everybody has a chance of getting those rewards. So we'll see what that ends up being like, and maybe if they do end up going 12-0 at some point, we'll see. This is another big thing too. Events will now last 2 weeks. Events are just all over the place. I don't even know. It seems like sometimes they're like 3 days, sometimes they're a week, sometimes they're 2 weeks. It's really cool they're going to keep it at 2 weeks. I think that's very, very good. Okay, so now where should we expect you to get rewards? So last year, just spent a lot of time playing a lot of offline, and a lot of people thought it felt like homework. You literally had to play offline so you could play online, but then when you played online, the rewards weren't great, so it was kind of like a free-for-all. They're doing it better this year. Your efforts can be rightfully rewarded. That way, you guys, if you want to play online, you can play online. If you want to play offline, you can play offline. So if you're somebody that focuses primarily on multiplayer modes like ranked, battle royale, and events, you have the opportunity to earn higher rated cards initially. But on the other hand, if you prefer single player modes like mini seasons, conquest, and showdown, you have the opportunity to earn better rewards over time as overall progression escalates. That's great. I think the people that play online should get those better rewards in the beginning, but then there should always be a thought of the offline and how they can attain those rewards as well. So I think it's a good combination of those. We'll see how that ends up looking in MLB Show 24, but I'm very excited about that. Now, we talked a little bit about Team Affinity earlier, but there will be 3 different drops within each season of Team Affinity. So you see right here, Season 1 will be, Chapter 1 will be at launch. You have Chapter 2 in mid-April, and then Chapter 3 in May. I love the fact that we're not just getting Team Affinity right away and we're grinding the entire time. You'll get more Team Affinity, 30 player cards, it looks like, each time. We do have a new legend. Brian Dozier has been in the game in years past. They did lose his rights after he retired, obviously. So I guess technically he is a new legend, but he has been in the game, so cool. It's a new legend. We got Brian Dozier. He was actually very good if you guys didn't use him. He's a very, very good card. We also have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It looks like Takashi is coming back to 24, which is awesome as well. So this is good. I don't know how you guys feel about the backgrounds of this, but I feel like it kind of hurts my eyes a little bit. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about this. I feel like it hurts my eyes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Another thing about Team Affinity that it felt like it took forever last year, because it did. You had to do a bunch of stuff. It looks like it'll be quicker than in years past. We'll see how that ends up going. That should be a good thing. There will be repeatable ways to earn Team Affinity progress. Hopefully that means that there will be repeatable showdowns coming back. They didn't really talk about it too much. They have vouchers in there like we had in years past. So Team Affinity looks like it'll be a good stuff. And lastly, in this blog post, they dropped this hint of maybe a new card series in MLB The Show 24. It looks like it'll be like a Hall of Fame card series. Now, as I record this, it looks like people have found out that it's Willie Mays. They found pictures of it that looked exactly like this. To me, it's a little bit weird that they would show William Mays in this when I don't know if this will be the Live Series Collection reward. I don't think it would be because he has been the Live Series Collection reward at one point. I would have loved to have seen maybe like a Josh Gibson or somebody else here that we haven't seen yet. But still, a new card series, Hall of Fame. They do a great job with card series, so it's really cool to see this. And that does it for our blog post from Diamond Dynasty for MLB The Show 24. Now, again, they will have a feature premiere talking about all this stuff, so we'll go into more depth. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Are you guys excited for 24? Do you guys think it's to be just like 23? I would love to know your guys' thoughts. I'm going to respond to all the comments down there. Make sure you guys like and subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.